everybody, welcome to my latest episode. I got morning affirmations while you sit on the commode. So smile a big smile, kick back with some coffee, enjoy conversation with the peach. She's just a little frosty.
Well, hey, good morning. It's your Frosty Peach here, coming at you from Northern Ohio on Lake Erie. I got my co-star over here, the Chet Man. I think he's chasing a bird out here. I have a great show planned for us today. We're going to be talking about connection and purpose. We're going to be going into the spiritual realm a little bit different than what we've been talking about. Before we get started, I just want to say thank you guys. I appreciate you all being here with me. You know, we're actually starting to wrap up this coffee convos and clarity episode, this mini series that we've been doing. We've got a couple more left, but have no fear. Your Frosty Peach isn't going anywhere. We're still going to be talking, having coffee and conversations every morning just like this. They just may not quite be the exact same cadence and the exact same content, but we're going to keep going. We're going to keep being positive. We're going to keep inspiring and bringing people together and unifying, because that's what we do here at Frosty Peach. We have a little bit of fun doing it, right? We like to share stories and be a little bit silly from time to time and have a good time. But thank you guys. I really truly appreciate y'all being here, supporting me here at the Frosty Peach, here with my 3 C's. Chet, my big co-star back here, who's just trying really hard to come around. But thank you guys. I appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and jump in. I got my coffee over here. I've already recycled this cup for the week. That's a pretty good cup of coffee. I'm about to get to the bottom of that one too. So we're going to get started, talk about connection and purpose today. And we're going to go ahead and ask a question today. What is something that makes you feel connected to something larger, to something bigger than who you are? Because, you know, we are all part of something bigger, and we always have been. And I like to say you are a part of something bigger, and you always have been. Just like I am part of something bigger, I always have been, right? So, you know, think about that and let me know in the comments, you know, how you feel part of something, connected to something that's larger than who you are. For me, I want to tell y'all this little story. So as I said, you know, I'm on Lake Erie here, and I was down at the beach with my neighbor the other day, and we were looking out over the water, and, you know, I'm Tennessee girl. I never really seen, you know, frozen lake before. I've seen a little bit of ice, you know, a little layer of ice and snow on top of, never seen a frozen lake before. So this was a big deal for me. As I'm just like, whoa, you know, this is wild. You know, I feel like I'm in Alaska, you know, looking at these ice shelves that come inland, because that's what happens. These ice shelves come inland when they freeze. The wind pushes it, and it's really cool because they just look like glaciers, and it's just neat looking. But, you know, I'm just looking out over that, and I'm thinking about that lake. And I mean, when you're staring out at that lake, it's infinite. It looks like the ocean sometimes. It's just massive. And she gets wild sometimes, you know. We get these seiches that actually push the lake away. Like, it is pushed so far away from the mainland that, I mean, it just exposes the whole bottom of the lake. It's pretty crazy. As all people go down there, there's all kinds of stuff that people leave, and, you know, they get their metal detectors and they start treasure hunting. But, you know, I've just never experienced anything like that. And, you know, when you have this incredible vastness of this lake and it freezes over, you know, it just stops. And it's fascinating how it just stops. you know. And I think that that is like us. Like sometimes we stop. Like, you know, the storm comes in just like it does on the lake, and we're like, oh, we don't know what to do with that, and we get stuck, right? And we freeze just like that lake freezes. But we got to remember, you know, if we stand firm and weather that storm, you know, eventually the ice is going to melt. It's going to break. And that river's going to start flowing again, just like we are. We've all got ebb and flow. And that rough season that we had, it's going to pass. It's all going to pass. And we're going to be okay. So I wanted to share that with you guys. We're going to jump into these affirmations now. So take a deep breath. Get grounded with me. And we'll get started. I am one with all that is. How am I one with all that is? You know, we are the puzzle to this big picture, right? A little bitty puzzle piece. But that big picture isn't going to be complete without that one little tiny little puzzle piece, because if it's left out, it's not right. It's not complete. And we are that little puzzle piece that fits into that big picture. So always remember that you're valued and you're important, and that the world needs you to fit your little puzzle piece in to complete that picture, right? They need your creativity, your spirit, and we are definitely bigger than what we think we are, especially to other people. I am infinite and I am boundless, and this kind of goes along with that. You know, we think of infinity, to infinity and beyond, you know, and you know, we know we'll pass away. So how are we infinite? You know, we're infinite when we put good out in the world with our family, with our friends, and we stick with them. So, you know, you hear somebody passing away, and we might mourn their loss and everything, but we still have their memory. And that's where we become infinite, almost immortal, because that spirit, that memory, you know, is still in there. That person is still with us, even though they're not here, you know, on this earth with us, right? So that we are infinite, we're boundless. We can do anything. And the only thing that can keep us from achieving our goals in life and our dreams is ourselves. We are the only limitation to ourselves, not other things around us, because we are boundless. And when we start believing that, that's when things change, because we have that confidence. We're listening to our intuition, and that's how we achieve our dreams. With that mindset, we are boundless, and nothing's going to stop me but me. Okay? So I see the divine light in everyone. Now, how about that? That's a big one, right? Everybody. We're all people. We're all human. We all got good in us. We all got bad in us, right? And, you know, how we choose to use that, how we choose to, you know, reflect our light or our dark into the world is up to us. But we all have that same light, and we have that same darkness. And so we want to project our light and our good as much as we can. And remember, even when we don't agree with people, people don't like us and we don't like them, because that's how it's going to be sometimes. They are still people. They're still good people, and they still have good in them. And maybe we can even help them find the good in themselves. I mean, that's really what it's about, right? It's to help people find good in themselves. So let's do that today. Let's help find good in other people and see good in other people. So I listen to the wisdom of the universe. That's our intuition. So remember that Our intuition is speaking to us from the universe to help us put those puzzle pieces together for that big picture, right? So we're going to listen to that intuition and be part of what the universe wants us to be in the big picture. Keep saying it over and over and over again. I'm also a big picture person, so that's important. I seek experience that nourishes my spirit. I love this one. I like this one because this one is an action for all of us. And I'm going to get me another sip of coffee because I feel like I need it. So, what do we mean by experiences that nourish our spirit? We need to go out and do things that make us happy. And not just make us happy in the moment, but things that we can grow from, things that we learn from. Not just grow intellectually. I mean, of course we want to grow intellectually, but spiritually, help us find good in other people. But we want to seek, things that will help us build our dreams. That's really where I'm going with all of this. Because when we seek experiences that motivate us and help us to follow our dreams, because we're nourishing that spirit, we're becoming better people, we're happier people, we're healthier people. And those experiences are the little spark, if you will, that will help ignite that fire that we need in our bellies to make our dreams come true. That's our motivation. That's our passion. That's what we need in life to accomplish our goals. So we're going to have experiences that nourish our spirit today. And I receive help as soon as I ask for it. I was thinking about this one. And I see it a few different ways. So I understand that, especially when we're going through something in our lives, and we're all going to go through things in our lives, and we're all going to have questions, big questions that we can't answer, and we're not supposed to answer. And that's my washing machine going off again. It likes to play us a tune every time that I do a show here lately. But the thing that I'm trying to get at is, when we pray, we're asking, like our God to help us out because we need help with something. We have a question. There's something we don't understand. And we're seeking answers, right? So that's one side of the coin. And that's a great and wonderful thing. I think it's important, to have that vulnerability and to be able to pray, especially if you're a religious person, you're a Christian, or it could be, a Muslim or whatever you are, Buddhist, whatever you are, or nothing at all. But you always need to feel like you can be vulnerable and seek help. On that note, I kind of want to flip it just a little bit because when I look at this, I think of it a little bit differently. It also tells us we need to ask for help. We can't always do everything on our own. Now, I'm Gen X. You guys know this about me, right? So, we kind of grew up figuring things out. We didn't have Google, we didn't have YouTube and all that kind of stuff. We had to go to the library, dig out that little catalog. I remember going through that little Rolodex type catalog. And trying to find, a certain book. I mean, you had to dig, you had to research. But for my generation, at least for myself, I'll say that I can be kind of stubborn. And I don't like to ask for help. I really don't. I will not ask for help until I am at my wit's end And I've done everything I can possibly do because that's just how I am. And that's not necessarily a good thing. There's good in that because you have a lot of pride. You learn more. But sometimes you can waste a whole lot of time trying to figure something out when all you got to do is just reach out to somebody and try to get some help. And I am the world's worst at that. I will tell you right now. I'm like, I'll figure this out hell or high water. But don't be like that. You need to go ask for help. And when you go in with the expectation, especially if it's hard for you to ask for help, that you're going to receive the answers that you need, that you're going to actually get help, it kind of changes your mindset a little bit. And it might even make it a little bit easier to ask for help next time you need it. So that goes with, everyday people. That goes with for praying, everything. Be vulnerable. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. We all need a little help from time to time, right? So everything is working out for my higher good. I'm going to say that again because I want to see if you catch the key word in this. Everything is working for my highest good. I did not say everything is working out for the greater good or the highest good. The difference is the word my. There's a big difference between the greater good and my greater good. The greater good, that's highly subjective. That is highly subjective. But my greater good is what's good for me. It's different for everybody. My greater good and your greater good might not be the exact same thing because we're all human. We're all different. And we all want to do good. And we all want for the universe to fill our spirit with good. But we are an active part of that. So we have to believe that everything is working out for my greater good. Okay? I was thinking about, what are we a part of that's bigger than us? And what's a time, where you felt like, you were part of something bigger in a good way? So, into our little frosty psychology section here. Awe, if you didn't know this, awe, A-W-E, increases well-being and reduces the stress hormone, cortisol. We talk about cortisol all the time, but you know what else that awe does? It doesn't just reduce our stress, it increases oxytocin. And if you know what oxytocin is, that's the love hormone. I think now they're starting to call it the empathy hormone, but it helps us, be empathetic to other people. So if you think about that, if you go out and you see something in nature and you're just like, wow, that's so cool, that's like so awesome. And we're not, because that's where the word awesome comes from, right? Awe. And, just that little bit of awe, childlike, enthusiasm brings up our empathy for other people and ourselves through that oxytocin. So I'm going to send y'all off with this because I'm looking at the time. It's already 20 minutes. Y'all know I can be so long-winded sometimes. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I appreciate y'all supporting me. I want y'all to move through today with openness because you're supported, right? So go out there. Have a wonderful, great day. Go outside. Get you some sunshine, some fresh air. This is your Frosty Peach signing off. Staying a little bit frosty on the outside, warm, toasty, and fuzzy on the inside. So y'all take care. Have a wonderful, blessed day. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Enjoy conversation with the peach. She's just a little frosty.